Okay, mathematicians, here is our practice with the exterior angles. Now, there are two ways to solve this one. I am going to explain each one. It doesn't matter which one you use. You use the one that makes sense to you. The first way that we can solve it is to use what we did up here. We make sure we know what the three angle measures are here to find the missing ones. Okay, so in order to do that, I need to find out what this angle is. I have 50, I have x, but I don't know what that is. We already know that this makes a straight line. So if it helps you to highlight that. Notice that there is a straight line right here, right? So if I take 180, because this is all 180, and I've taken 73 steps, I'm going to be left with 103. I know this is 103. If you need a reminder on that, that was back in our first lesson about supplementary angles. So now what I know is that, so that's what I did first. I did the two angles here. Now, I am going to look at my triangles. Angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 equals 180. I know that 103 is one angle because I just found it. I know that 50 is an angle. Plus that's x equals 180. 103 plus 50 is 153 plus x equals 180 minus 153 to make a 0 minus 153. X equals 727. Okay, so it was two steps. I had to find that interior inside measure here first by using what I know about supplementary angles. Once I have two inside angles, I can find the third. Now the other one that you can use has another kind of rule. This 73, so I'm going to kind of erase this so we can get back to where we were at the beginning of the problem. The cool thing about exterior angles, this one, 73, is the same measure as these two together. So you have to think about, if this one's 103, which we already know, we solved that, right? Then this 50 plus this x has to equal 73. Uh-oh, I just realized that wasn't 180 minus 73 was not 103. It is 107. Oh, see, even I make mistakes. I have to come back over here. It is a 7. A 7, a 7, and a 7. So now this is 23. It's okay to make mistakes. Even I make mistakes. But notice I caught it because I'm like, that doesn't make sense. So now I remember. This is 73. This is the same measurement as these two added together. So I know that the other two angles, okay, the other two, x plus the 50, will be equal to 73. I have a one-step problem here. I'm going to subtract 50. It becomes a 0. I subtract 50. X equals 23. Do you see that these are the same? So if you can remember that this exterior angle is the same measurement as these two other outside angles, then you can kind of skip that extra step over here. But it's just something you have to remember, and it's something you have to see. Let's practice another one. Okay, in number 12. Number 12, notice that I have 148 out here. I have x, which is the one I'm looking for, and I have this square, which means it's 90 degrees. So I can either use my supplementary angle and find out this missing and then find x, or I can use my shortcut. Remember, mathematicians love shortcuts. I know that 148 is the same measure as these two added together. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go x plus the 90 equals, these two opposites equal the same as the exterior, 148. Since I have x plus 90, I'm going to subtract 90 to make a 0. Subtract 90, and I get x equals 58. And my problem is solved. Okay, let's take a look at number 13. Number 13, we do have a little bit of a challenge here. But you know what? We only know this angle. But I also realize I only need to do one step. I need x right here. I know that 140 plus the x equals a straight line. Do you see the straight line right here? Straight line. That means it equals to 180. X is in here. I got to leave that. This is a positive 140. Even though it's not written, it is positive. So I'm going to subtract 140 to make it a 0. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. X equals 40. And this one's done. If you're comfortable with these math problems, go ahead and get into Delta Math. If you want, I will do the last two. Okay, let's take a look at what we know here. I do know the exterior angle. I also know that it equals the opposite two added together. So I'm going to take the 17 plus the x equals the 68. To solve this, I've got a positive 17, so I'm going to subtract 17. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. That becomes 0. X equals 8 minus 7 is 1. 6 minus 1 is 5. X is 51. And one more. Okay, I know that this is 128. This exterior angle is the same measurement as these two opposites added together. This cool little square means 90 degrees. So now I have x plus 90 is the same thing as 128. Since I have a positive 90, I'm going to subtract 90. Becomes a 0. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. X equals 128 minus 90 is 38. Okay, go ahead and get into Delta Math. Try a few. If you get stuck, there are videos there, or you can ask. Good luck.